closed interval minus what is that one, minus 5 by 6 to plus 5 by 6. It's a closed interval, right? And we have one more element is there, that is 5 by 2. And here also we want to collect between minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. So this also a closed interval, right? So the set is nothing but a union of closed intervals, right? Union of closed intervals and a union singleton 5 by 2. So we want to check that whether it is closed or not in the usual topology, because here we want to check that it is closed or not in two types of topology. First one is a usual topology, right? Second one is a lower limit topology, right? Now we are going to check that in the usual topology. You know that in the usual topology, the open in basis elements is open interval a comma b, right? Okay, you know that if the set is open, then it is complement is closed. If the set is closed, then its complement is open. You know that, right? Okay, now we are going to check this whether it is closed or not. Now I am going to take its complement. So its complement is nothing but a remaining one, that is open intervals, right? That is open interval pi by 2 to this one. Here also there is open interval. It is a union of the open intervals, right? So here the open interval is an open set. So union of open set is open, right? So its complement is open. Therefore, it is a closed one, right? So the set is closed in tau 1, that is in the usual topology. Now we want to check whether it is closed or not in the lower limit topology, right? So in future we are going to show that usual topology is coarser than the lower limit topology, right? R is contained in RL. In future we are going to show that, right? I'm going to use this result. That is R is contained in RL. So if in R, if there is a closed set is there, then it is also closed in RL. Okay. So here this is a closed in R, therefore it is also closed in RL. Okay. Therefore the set is closed in usual topology as well as in the lower limit topology. Okay. So the option is C, which is closed in both R tau 1 and R tau 2. Now we are going to see the definition of subbasis. Subbasis a script S is called a subbasis if it satisfies a condition. That condition is union of space must be equal to the space whole space capital X. Then the collection is called a subbasis. It has only one condition, that union must be capital X. Then it is called a subbasis, right? From the subbasis we can generate a basis by the collection of all finite intersection of subbasis element Si, where I is equal to 1 to n. Here Si belongs to script S. Okay. So from the subbasis, you can generate a basis by taking the finite intersection of elements of subbasis. Okay. From the basis, you can generate a topology. Already we know that. Okay. This is the definition for subbasis and how to form a basis from the subbasis. Right. Now the problem. So here they are asking the topology tau on the real line generated by the class of all closed intervals with the length L is whether it is in discrete topology or discrete topology or standard topology or neither discrete nor Hausdorff, right? So we want to generate a topology from this collection. First, we want to check that whether this collection is subbasis or basis, right? So here they are giving that the closed interval d comma d plus l. They are giving closed interval d comma d plus l. So it is actually a subbasis because you know that it satisfies only the union of the collection will be the real line R. Okay, but uh, what about the second condition? Okay, no problem. We can take it as a uh, subbasis, right? Now we are going to form a basis from this collection, right? I already told that we want to take a finite intersection, right? I'm going to take an intersection for the two sets and I want to observe that what is the result. Okay, so the one is d comma d plus l, the another one is d minus l comma d minus l plus l, right? Okay, here I am going to replace d by d minus l. Okay, so the second one is d minus l comma d minus l plus l. Okay, both the elements are belongs to script s. Okay, now I'm going to take intersection. So what is the result? D minus l comma, here the answer is d, intersection d comma d plus l, the answer is singleton d. So now the basis contains all the singleton set, right? The basis contains all the singleton set. Already in the last class we discussed about that if the basis have a singleton set as an element, then the basis generated discrete topology, right? Okay, so the answer is discrete topology, the second one. Okay,
Sir, this D, sir, I have doubt in this question.
okay,
Sir, this D varies on the real line, right? Over R, but L is
yeah,
fixed.
yeah,
So,
yes,
it is not a. I just want to confirm that it is not a basis because in the intersection we cannot make a length of L, right? We
yeah,
can't.
very
We
good,
cannot.
right, super, yeah, yeah, super, right,
Thank you.
nice observation, right? Okay, that's why we are assuming this as a subbasis. Okay, right. So now we are going to compare the topology by using the basis element, right? So determination of whether one topology is finer than another in terms of the basis, right? Okay, so we have two topologies, uh, tau and tau dash. Okay, now if you want to show that tau dash is contained in tau, then you can show that by its basis, right? So for every x belongs to b dash, where b dash belongs to the uh, basis script b dash corresponding to the topology tau dash, right? So I'm going to show if you want to show that tau dash is contained in tau by using the basis element, right? First you want to take an element from the basis corresponding to the tau dash. Okay, so its corresponding basis is script b dash corresponding to this topology. The basis is script b. Okay, so first you want to take an element x belongs to the belongs to b dash, where b dash belongs to script b dash, right? Now you have to find an element b in script b such that x belongs to that element b, that element b must contain in b dash. Okay, if this condition is satisfied, then we can say that tau dash is contained in tau. Okay, this is a way of comparing the two topologies using the basis element, right? Okay, now already we studied the three types of topologies. One is a usual topology, that is called R. and lower limit topology and RK topology, right? K topology. We have three examples are there. We are going to compare which one is finer and which one is coarser by using its basis elements, right? Okay. First, I'm going to compare an lower limit topology and usual topology. So the basis for the usual topology is script B equal to set of all open interval A comma B. The basis for lower limit is script B dash equal to set of all closed to open A comma B. Okay. Now already I told that is usual topology is contained in lower limit topology, right? That means we want to show that R contained in RL. That means first we want to take an element from the left hand side, that is X belongs to the basis element corresponding to R. Corresponding to R is script B. So from the script B, you want to take an element open interval A comma B. Now we have to find out an element from the script B dash which must contain X and it's contained in closed interval A comma B, right? So this is the easiest way you know that. The answer is closed X open B. Okay, this closed X open B is belongs to script B dash and it contains X and it is contained in open interval A comma B. Therefore, R is contained in RL. Okay, let's look at that. If you want to show this one, we take an element from the left hand side. Okay, if we are taking the element from the left hand side and if we want to bring the element from the right hand side, which must contained in that one, right? This is a way of comparing two topologies. So from that one, we can understand that R is contained in RL. So what about the converse? That is whether it is RL is contained in R or not. Okay. If you want to show this one, as usual, you want to take a element from the left hand side, right? That is, you want to take an element from the basis corresponding to RL. I'm going to take closed open A comma B, and I am giving an element A belongs to that one. Now you want to bring an element from the basis corresponding to R, and it must contain A, and it must contain in closed open A comma B, but you cannot bring such a element, right? Okay, because if you want an element A in the open interval, then you want to take left one must be less than A, right? Once it must be less than A now, it will not contain in closed open A comma B. So we cannot bring this one, right? So this relation will not hold. So R is properly contained in RL. R is properly contained in RL, right? Okay. Similarly, we are going to show that RK is finer than R. That is, the usual topology is contained in K topology, right? To show this, first we have to take an element from the left hand side, that is open interval A comma B, and we have to choose an element X, right? Now we are going to find out an element from the RK which must contain X and contained in this one, right? But what is RK? Here we have a RK has a basis, RK has a basis which have two types of set is there. One is open interval A comma B union, another one is open interval A comma B minus 1 by n, right? So here we have all the open intervals are there. So I'm going to take this one, that is X belongs to the open interval A comma B. That open interval A comma B is taken from the basis corresponding to the K topology, which is contained in open interval A comma B. Therefore, R is contained in Rk. Now we have to check the converse, that is Rk, whether Rk is subset of R or not. To check this one, we have to take an element from Rk. I'm going to take open interval minus 1 comma plus 1 minus 1 by n. I'm taking an element from the basis corresponding to Rk, right? And an element 0. I'm going to take an element 0, right? Now you want to bring an element from R, right? That is from the basis corresponding to the R, right? So if you bring an open interval which contains 0, means it is a neighborhood of 0, right? It is a neighborhood of 0. You know that 1 by n convergence to 0, and this one I'm going to call it as a u. So this u is a neighborhood of 0, and 1 by n convergence to 0. That means 1 by n belongs to u for all n greater than or equal to n naught, right? Then obviously 1 by n must, that is 1 by n naught, 1 by n naught must be belongs to u, right? But here this set must contain this one, but here we have no such an element, right? So it will not happen. Therefore the converse part is not true. Therefore R is properly contained in Rk. R is properly contained in Rk. So RL and Rk are finer topology, right? Finer than the usual topology R. Okay. Now we have to compare these two, right? RL and Rk. RL and Rk. So first we are going to check that whether RL is a subset of Rk. So I'm going to take an basis element from RL, that is closed open A comma B, and I'm going to take an element A. Now you want to bring a basis element from Rk, right? So Rk have two types of basis elements, but in both cases, once the element A belongs to the B now, then automatically it contains an element with left hand side to the A. That is, if A belongs to the open interval C comma D, mean in between C and A, that is C less than A less than D. Therefore, there are some other elements X which is between C and A, but that X is not belongs to the closed open A comma B. Therefore, it will not be a subset of closed open A comma B, right? So this relation will not hold. Similarly, we are going to do the converse part. That is, actually this is same as we are done in R power k subset of R, right? That means we are going to take an element minus 1 comma 1 minus 1 by n, and 0 is an element of this one, right? Now we have to find out an basis element from this one, that is closed open A comma B, which must contain 0. Once it contains 0, automatically it will contain an elements of 1 by n. So it will not definitely a subset of minus 1 comma 1 minus 1 by n. Therefore this relation will not also hold. Therefore RL and Rk is not comparable, right? RL and Rk is not comparable.
Sir, here, if I take, sir,
Yeah.
sir, here, if I take instead of RL, RU, then because 1 by n converges to 0 in RU to the left, so I think that will be comparable at that time, right?
So in
RU, if I take RU, so because we can find out then minus 1 to 0 closed will get an
Yeah.
open, right?
You're right. You are going to compare RU with the RK, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Okay.
So you told that we can RK is a subset of RU, right? Is it correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, so RK has two form. Yeah, of course. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Now the problem is we have three basis elements, right? Sorry, three bases, and the corresponding topology is called tau 1, tau 2, tau 3, and you have to compare these three topology. Okay, just look at that. The first basis have the element of the form open a comma a plus pi by n. Here a must be a rational number and n belongs to n. Second basis contain all the open intervals a comma b. Here a and b are the rational number. Third one contains all the open interval. Here a and b must be a real number, right? We have to compare these three different bases. Okay, so the first one, S1 is equal to collection of all open interval a comma a plus pi by n. Here a must be a rational number. The second one, the set of all a comma b. Here a and b belongs to the rational number. Third one, set of all open interval a comma b. Here a and b belongs to R. Okay, we have to compare this corresponding to this basis, right? Uh, First, we are going to compare the second and third because it is very easy. We can easily observe that. What is that one? Already you find out the result, I think. Tau 2 is and tau 3 must be equal, right? Because you know that here the only missing term is set of all open roll a comma b, where a and b are irrational, right? And you know that from the rational you can bring the irrational one. Okay, so definitely this topology will be equal, right? This is our guessing. Now we are going to show that this topology are equal, right? First we are going to show that tau 2 is a subset of tau 3, right? To do this we want to take an element from the basis from for tau 2, right? That is, we are going to take an element from S2, that is open interval a comma b. Here a and b are belongs to the rational. Now and we are going to take a pick an element x belongs to that one. Now we want to find out an element corresponding to the tau 3, that is a basis element corresponding to the tau 3, right? But here we have all the open intervals a comma b. So this open interval a comma b is also in S3. Therefore x belongs to a basis element of S tau 3, which is contained in open interval a comma b. Therefore this relation is hold. Now we are going to see the converse part, that is tau 3 subset of tau 2, right? So now we want to take a basis element from tau 3. So open interval a comma b and an element x belongs to open interval a comma b. Now we want to choose a basis element from tau 2, right? But here a and b may be of any real numbers, right? But in S2 we have only the open intervals where a and b are must be rational numbers, right? So here this is an open interval a comma b and we have an x in that interval. Now we are going to find out we know that there is a result is there, that is in between any two real there is a rational number, right? So here we are going to pick the rational number in between a and x, that is called a dash, and in between these two real we are going to pick a rational number that is called b dash. So open interval a dash comma b dash contain an element x which is contained in open interval a comma b. Here the a dash and b dash are rational numbers, therefore this is belongs to S2, right? So we are find out a basis element from the tau2, therefore this relation also hold. So when combining these two, we attain the result that is tau2 equal to tau3, right? Now we are going to compare the tau1 and tau2, right? And one more thing, we are going to see that here the last option we have tau1 equal to tau2 in the first option, and tau3 contains tau1. Second option is tau3 properly contains tau2. It's a wrong one. Already we proved this one. So we want first and third. So we are going to guess that tau1 is equal to tau2, right? Okay. So right. First we are going to know that tau1 is a subset of tau2, right? Uh, to prove this one, we have to take an element from the tau1, basis element from the tau1, that is a comma a plus pi by n, and we have to pick an element from this interval, right? Now we are going to find out an element, basis element from the tau2, right? So uh, this is a and this is a plus pi by n, x is belongs to this interval, right? Now we have to pick an element from the S2, but in S2, our open interval have a element a and b must be a rational number. Here left hand is no problem, it is a rational number, but the right hand is not a rational number, right? Here there is a pi is there, so it is an irrational number, so we cannot take this one. So I'm going to take, I'm going to use the result that is in between any two real, there is a rational number is there. I'm going to take this rational number as b, then the open interval a comma b. Here a and b are rational, therefore it is belongs to S2, and this basis element of S2 contain an element x which is contained in the basis element of S1, right? Therefore tau1 is contained in tau2. Now we have to do the reverse part. Sorry, I have to use this one. So tau2 subset of tau1. So now I want to take a element from basis element from the tau2, that is open interval a comma b, and we have to pick an element x. Now you are going to find out an element, basis element from the tau1, right? So this is our open interval a comma b. Here x must be there. So I'm going to find out the length between a and x and the x and b. I'm going to call it as r1, and this is r2, and I'm going to take a minimum of that one, that is minimum of r1 and r2, that is called r, right? Okay. And one more thing, here we have a pi by n. You know that pi by n is convergence to 0, right? So for given epsilon, that epsilon I'm going to take as r, So there exists n naught such that pi by n is less than epsilon, that is less than r, for all n greater than or equal to n naught. That means pi by n naught is less than r. We can find out this one, right? Okay. Now I'm going to take an open interval that is called x minus pi by n naught x plus pi by n naught. Okay, it will definitely will be contained in the open interval a comma b, right? Now this x may be our rational or irrational. Suppose it is rational, then our problem is finished. We can easily finish, but not yet, but we will finish it later. Okay, now I'm going to take an rational number in between these two, that is x minus pi by n naught and x. In between these two real number, I can find out a rational number. That rational number is called a dash. Okay, now I'm going to add a pi by n naught to this a dash. That a dash plus pi by n naught will be on the right hand side of x, because the length of these two is pi by n naught. I'm taking the element a in between these two. Therefore, definitely that a dash plus pi by n naught will be on the other side of x. So I have an interval a dash comma a dash plus pi by n naught contain an element x, and it is contained in open interval a comma b. Here a dash is a rational number, and this is an element of s1, right? So we found the basis element from s1 satisfying the condition. Therefore, tau t is contained in tau 1. Already we proved that tau 1 is contained in tau 2. So finally tau 1 is equal to tau 2. So the answer is third one. Okay. So next, get enter the following topologies on the set of all real numbers. So we are going to work on the real line. First topology T1 is nothing but a upper limit topology. Second topology is cofinite topology. Third topology is a standard topology, right? So we have three different topologies are there. Now we want to compare these three, right? Okay, but already I told that lower limit topology is finer than standard topology. In the same way, we can say that upper limit topology is also finer than the standard topology. So we have a result. That result is upper limit topology is finer than the standard topology, right? T3 is contained in T1. Okay. Now we want to find out the relation between T2 and T3, right? Okay. Just look at the options. So our guess must be the option A. So we want to check whether T2 is contained in T3 or not. Okay. So T2 is a cofinite topology. T3 is a standard topology. Okay. T2 is a cofinite topology. T3 is a standard topology. Standard topology means the basis elements contain open interval a comma b, right? So now we are going to check that whether T2 is contained in T3 or not. To check this one, we have to pick a basis element of T2, right? That is U. You may take the whole topology as a basis also, right? There is no problem on that one. Okay. So here our basis element of T2 is setting 2. That means its complement is finite. Complement is finite. So and I want to take one more x. I want to take an element x belongs to U. Now you have to find out an element from basis element from T3 that element must contain X and it must be contained in the open interval. Sorry, it must contain in the set U, right? Okay. So in a real line, our X must be in somewhere. So I'm going to take, you know that U complement has a finite set. I'm going to give the name for that finite set, that is A1, A2, etc. AN, right? So from the X, from the left hand side of the X, we are going to find out the largest element of U complement, okay? Because it is only finite elements are there. Therefore, we are going to find out the largest element on the left hand side of X, right? It must be any AI. We are going to give the name as A. In the right hand side, we are going to choose the smallest element, right? Smallest element of U complement, that will be of any AJ. We are going to give the name to this one as B. Then the open interval A comma B must contain an element X, right? And you know that this is the largest one. Therefore, in this portion, there is no other element of U complement. And here also, there is no element from the U complement. Therefore, this whole interval must contained in U, right? So finally, we attain the relation, that is T2 is a subset of T3. So already we have a relation T3 subset of T1. So the answer is the first one, right?
Why does AI and AJ exist on the left and right? That I have a confusion regarding that.
Yeah, very good, right? Okay, so suppose all the elements of U complement are lies on the left hand side, then we have no elements on the right hand side, right? Okay, you ask that means I told that you want to take an element, minimum element on the right hand side which is belongs to U complement, but if suppose there is no element on the right hand side, right? Then we can, yeah, right, okay, we can take, then we can take any element, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. So next one, product topology. So X comma tau 1 and Y comma tau 2 are two topologies are there. Now we are going to form a new topology on the product space X cross Y as follows. That first we are going to give a basis element for the product space. It's that is a collection of all Q cross V, where U belongs to tau 1 and V belongs to tau 2, right? So this will satisfy the basis condition, right? Using this basis, if you generate a topology, that topology is called a product topology for X cross Y, right? This is the definition of product topology. So in a product topology, the basis elements are U cross V, where U is open in X and V is open in Y. Okay, right. This is a product topology definition. Next is subspace topology. So we have a space X and we have a topology for X, tau X, right? We have a subset now Y. Now we are going to define a topology on Y, that is called tau Y, in the following way. That is, tau Y is a collection of all Y intersection U, where U belongs to tau X, right? So open sets of Y are like this one. That is, you want to take an open set for X, and you want to make the intersection with the Y. The resultant set is open in Y. Okay, in this way we can form a topology in this for the subset, right? That is called a subspace topology. Now the question is, in R power 2 we are taking the subspace topology n cross q, right? So in this subspace topology we want to check the set, that is set of all n comma 1 by n, where n belongs to n. This is whether open or closed. We want to check this one in the subspace topology, right? Okay, they are giving the name for this set as P. Okay, now we want to check that whether P is closed or not in n cross q. So first we are going to draw the space n cross q. So in R power 2 we want to draw the subspace n cross q. That means 1 cross q, that is all the elements in the line which have a y coordinate as rational, right? Then 2. So this is our subspace n cross q, right? Here in this space we want to check that P is closed or not. P is nothing but set of all n comma 1 by n, where n belongs to n, right? So here the x coordinate is n, y coordinate is 1 by n. Just apply here, that is y is equal to 1 by x, that is xy is equal to 1, that is xy is equal to 1 is nothing but a hyperbola, right? So now the set P is nothing but the intersection of cross q and the curve. So these are all the elements of P, right? That is explicitly we can say that is if you take a first element n equal to 1, that is called 1 comma 1, then 2 comma 1 by 2, then third element 3 comma 1 by 3, like this one. Okay, right? This is our P. Now we are going to check that whether it is closed or not. Okay, now in the whole space R power 2, this curve is closed curve, closed set, right? This curve, that is xy is equal to 1, is a closed set because its complement, right? Its complement is has a two region. One is the upper portion, another one is the lower portion. So it is an open set, right? Because for each x belongs to the set, we can form a basis element which is entirely contained in that set. Therefore, the complement of the curve is an open set, right? Therefore, the curve is a closed set. Okay, the curve is a closed set. So already we have a result, that is subspace. The open set of the subspace topology will be of the form, that is y intersection open set in x, right? Similarly, we have a result is there. If you want to find out the closed set in the subspace, then it will be of the form of y intersection the closed set in x. Okay, now the curve is a closed set. Okay, that is called G x in, that is G R power, that is closed set in R power 2, right? We are going to take a intersection with the our subspace, that is n cross q, right? Then we can get the set P. So it will be closed in our subspace topology. Therefore, P is closed. So B is closed Now you want to check that whether it is open or not. Okay. So what is a open set definition actually? If in the usual, actually we are working in the usual topology, that is usual metric space. You know that if you want to say that set open, then you have to show that for each x belongs to x, there exists a basis element which contains x and it must be in U, right? This is the condition for open set. Now we want to check that whether it is this B is open or not. So I'm going to take an element from P, this one, that is 1 comma, I'm taking 1 comma 1. So corresponding to this element, I have to find out a basis element, that is B, that must be contained in our set. Yeah, our set P. That basis element means that is open set, right? So we have to find out a open set. Okay. Okay. We will take it as a basis. Okay. So the basis element will be of the form of the subspace intersection the basis element in R power 2. You know that the basis element in R power 2 is nothing but a circle, right? So you are going to take a circle about 1 comma 1 and you are going to make the intersection with the subspace, right? So the resultant will be the interval vertical one, right? So from clearly we can understand that this interval is not entirely contained in B, right? Definitely it will not be contained in B. So corresponding to an element 1 comma 1, we cannot find out an basis element such that it is contained in B. Therefore, it is not open. So the answer is B is closed but not open, right? So second one is the boundary of B in X, right? So we did not see the definition of boundary. So the definition of boundary of A, simply I'm going to give the result, that is boundary of A is nothing but A bar intersection A complement bar, right? Actually it's not a definition, it's a result. That definition will be that if X belongs to boundary of A, means for every neighborhood of X, that neighborhood must intersect A as well as it must intersect its A complement. Okay, this is a basis. This is a boundary of A definition, and one more. This is a result for boundary of A. That is boundary of A is equal to A bar intersection A complement bar. We are going to use this one, right? So we have to find out the boundary of P. Already we showed that P is a closed set, right? Therefore, B bar equal to B, right? And B complement. So B complement is nothing but so here the element is 1 comma 1. It is an element of B. So the B complement will be of the whole line except 1 comma 1, right? So if you take a closure, that means if you take a limit points, then it will contain this 1 comma 1, right? That is actually B complement. Okay. Sorry. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now, first we want to line except the point 1 comma 1 here, except the point 2 comma 1 by 2, like that one. But if you take a bar, then it include that point also, that is 1 comma 1. If you draw a neighborhood corresponding to 1 comma 1, it will intersect the remaining portion, that is a element of B complement. So it is a limit point of B complement. So if you once you are going to take a B complement bar, you will get the answer is the whole space, that is n cross q, right? Now you want to take a intersection for these two, that is B bar intersection B complement bar. The answer will be P, that is the boundary of P. So boundary of P is equal to P. So now we are going to see the definition of connected set. Before going to see the definition, first we want to see the definition of separation. So we have a topology x comma tau, right? If you want to say that x has a separation, then you have to find out two open sets U and V, that is non-empty open set, such that U intersection B is equal to empty and U union B must be equal to X, right? So if you find out the open sets U and V such that it U intersection V is equal to empty, U union V is equal to X, then we can say that X has a separation, right? So a space X is called connected if it has no separation, right? If you want to say that X is connected, then you want to say that it has no separation, right? That means you cannot find out a pair U and B having this condition, right? So this is a definition for connected set. There is a one more equivalent definition for the connected set is if X is connected, then it's only both open and closed set is empty and X, right? If X is connected, if and only if it's only open and closed set is empty and capital X, right? We can prove this one from the results from the separation definition, right? That means so suppose X is connected, then you have to show that the only open and closed set is empty and X, right? Now we have X is connected. We have to prove this one. Suppose not, we are going to take suppose not. There is a one which is both open and closed. So we have U which is both open and closed, and it is a proper subset, right? It is a proper subset of X, right? So U is open, right? And U is also closed. Now I'm going to take a complement for U. U is closed, therefore U complement is open, right? So it is a proper subset, therefore U complement is non-empty, right? So we have a set U and U complement which is both open and its intersection will be empty and its union will be capital X, right? So it form a separation. So U and U complement form a separation. Therefore, X is not connected. Okay, so if you take this one is not hold means it's also not hold. That means X is connected implies X has only open and closed set is empty and X, right? To prove the converse, you want to take X as only open and closed set is empty and X, and you want to show that X is connected, right? So we are going to take the contrapositive method, that is we are going to take X is not connected. Okay, we are going to take X is not connected. Now we have to show that X has some proper set which is both open and closed. So X is not connected means we have a separation. That means we have a pair of open set is there whose union is capital X, whose intersection is empty. Okay. Now from this one you can understand that U complement is nothing but B. Right? U complement is nothing but B. Now U and B are open. So we have U is open, right? And B is open. So U open means U complement is closed, but U complement is B. So we have a set B that is a proper set which is both open and closed, right? So the conclusion is if X has only open and closed set is empty and X, that implies X is connected. Okay, so we have a result X is connected if and only if its only open and closed set is empty and X. So the one more definition for the altered definition for the connected is if X is connected, then you can't find a pair A and B, a subset of X, such that A intersection B equal to empty. Sorry, A bar intersection B equal to empty, A intersection B bar equal to empty, and A union B is equal to X. Right? X is connected if you can't find a pair A and B having this condition. Right? This is a one more definition for the connected set. Sorry, here I'm using A union B is equal to capital X. So here are some examples for the connected set is here. In an indiscrete topology, if a space having two element, then it is connected, right? You know that indiscrete topology having only two elements, that is pi and x. Okay, suppose x having at least two elements, right? Sorry, minimum okay, at least two elements. At least sorry, one more, I need to clarify something. That is 2-point space, they are taking only the 2-point space, right? That is x is equal to an element a comma b, then it is a connected space, right? Because you cannot find a two open sets U and B having certain condition, that is U intersection B is equal to empty, U union B is equal to capital X, right? Because you know that here we have only two open sets are there, and in the one is empty set is here, but we want to take a U and B must be a non-empty open sets, right? So we have only one non-empty open set is here, so you cannot take a pair. Therefore there is no separations are there, therefore it is connected. So in discrete topology is always a connected space, right? In a discrete space, if your space contains two element, then it will be disconnected. It will be a disconnected space. That is not a connected one, because you know that in a discrete space, every set is open, right? Every set is open. Therefore, singleton A is open, and also every set is closed in a discrete space, right? Therefore, singleton A is also closed. So it is a proper set because it contains at least two elements. So it is a proper set which is both open and closed, right? Both open and closed. Therefore, it is not connected. Okay.
Sir, for the indiscrete topology, why do we need a 2-point set here? And previously you explained.
You
It
can
could be
take
any, right?
any one. But I written that 2 point. That's why I explained that one.
Okay.
I wrote 2-point space. That's why I explained about corresponding to that set. Okay. You can take any set. Yeah, of course. Okay. This next example, that is y is equal to, we are taking union of the two half open interval. We want to check that whether it is connected or not. Obviously, it is disconnected. Right. So you are going to take this one as A, this one as B, right? So here our space is Y, then A union B will get Y, and A bar equal to closed -1, 0. So A bar intersection B is equal to empty, right? So A intersection B bar also is equal to empty. Okay, therefore it form a separation, right? Therefore Y is not connected. So next one, rationals, right? So what about the rational one? Rational is a connected set or disconnected, not a connected set. Can you give a separation for that one? So in a real line, you are taking only rationals, right? So I'm going to pick one irrational number, √2, right? Now Q is equal to Q intersection minus infinity comma √2. Okay. Union Q intersection open interval √2 comma infinity, right? So this is an open set in real. So in a subspace, the open set will be of this form. So it is open set in Q. This is also open set in Q, right? We have two open sets and its union is equal to Q and the intersection is equal to empty. So Q has a separation, therefore Q is not connected, right? The last one, that is set of all x cross y, where y is equal to 0, union set of all x cross y, x greater than 0 and y is equal to 1 by x, right? Actually, already we have discussed about this one. So the first set of all x cross y such that what that one, y equal to 0, union set of all x cross y such that x greater than y greater than 0.
X greater than 0.
X greater than 0.
X greater than 0 and y is equal to 1 by x, right? So if you draw the two set, you will get this one is a rectangular hyperbola, one part of rectangular hyperbola, right? Because this is xy is equal to 1, right? And this is nothing but the x-axis, right? So you want to take this one. Okay. Now this both are closed set, right? Both are closed set. So we are going to take this as one A and this one as B. So both are closed means B bar equal to B, A bar equal to A, right? So this is our space. So y is equal to B union A, right? And B bar intersection A is nothing but B intersection A. There is no common element for these two. That is equal to empty. So B intersection A bar equal to again B intersection A equal to empty. So we have a separation for this one, right? Therefore, it is a disconnected set. Right. Now we are going to recall some results about the connected set. Using this one, we are going to solve the gate question, right? So the union of collection of connected subspace of X that have a point in common is connected. So the union of collection of connected set is connected if it has a common point, right? So the next result is this one is an important one because we are going to use this result, that is A subset of B subset of A bar, and if A is connected, right, then B is also connected, right? If A is connected, then B is also connected, right? And the third one is a very familiar one. You know that image of a connected set is connected. Continuous image of a connected set is connected. Sorry. Last one, a finite Cartesian product of connected space is connected, right? We are going to use these results for the gate question. So the question is, R denotes the set of all real numbers. Consider the following topological spaces x1 and x2. x1 is nothing but a upper limit topology. x2 is nothing but a cofinite topology, right? Now we are going to check that which one is connected and which one is not connected, right? So what do you guess for about a upper limit topology? So upper limit topology means open closed A comma B. Here we want to check that in this topology R is connected or not, right? Okay. Now I need a separation for that one, right? To prove that it is not connected. So I'm going to take, I want to take two open sets, which union must be R, right? And you know that this topology is finer than the usual topology, right? So usual topology is contains all the open intervals also is there. Okay. So I'm going to form a separation for R. That is U is equal to here, sorry, union of A equal to N. I'm going to try to prove that here I'm fixing the point P, right? I'm going to make open closed A comma B, right? And in the right hand side, I'm going to make B comma C, right? here I am going to take a union of collection of intervals. That means a equal to a tends to infinity, right? If I am going to take a tends to infinity, here I am going to take c tends to infinity, then it will cover the right hand side and it will cover the left hand side. Therefore, the union will be R, right? Union will be R. Okay. So I'm going to fix B is equal to 0, right? Now I'm going to take a open set U as union of n equal to -1 to minus infinity of open closed -1 comma 0, right? So it is this is open, union of open set is open, so this is open, so it will cover the left hand side of the real line. Okay, left hand side of the real line. Now B is equal to open 0 comma, sorry, I want to take n, right? Okay, open 0 comma n. Here I want to take n is equal to 1 to infinity, right? If you take n is equal to 1 to infinity, it will cover the right hand side of the real line, right? And it is open because each open interval is open and union of open set is open, right? So both the set are open and trivially the intersection will be empty and the union will be the whole real line. Therefore, I have a separation for R. Therefore, R is not connected, right? R is not connected in the upper limit topology.
We can take V to be closed for n, right? Also, here we can take closed n, so that
Here also, here,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
of
that
course. Yeah.
that will belongs to the basis set.
That means you told that there is no need to take that
Use the usual topology.
except from the, okay, we are taking only the basis elements, right? Okay. So next one, we have to check that whether it is connected or not in the cofinite topology, right? So obviously in a cofinite topology, R is a connected one, right? Because we cannot find a separation. Suppose if you find a separation, that means suppose you can find a pair of open sets U and V such that U union V is equal to R, U intersection V is equal to empty mean. So here we have U and V are open set. That means U is open implies U complement is finite, right? Okay. Now what about V? V is also open, but just look at that. U1 the U intersection V is equal to empty, right? So disjoint set and the union will be equal to R. That means U complement will be equal to V, right? U complement will be equal to V. That is U union V is equal to R. That implies U complement equal to V. But U complement is finite. Therefore, V is finite. Okay, V is finite. So here we have a result. V is open. So what about V complement? V complement is finite. So now combine these two. V is finite and V complement is finite, means its union is equal to R. Therefore, R is finite. So which is a contradiction. So we cannot find a separation for R in the finite topology, cofinite topology, right? Therefore, R is connected in cofinite topology, right? Okay. So I think we will end this session, right? Any questions?
Yes, sir. I have a question. In the example you explained that 4 sine square x is less than or equals to 1. Could you go there, please?
Yeah, okay. Where is that?
Before this.
Yeah.
Yes, here. So you have taken that the set. You have taken the complement of the, because this gives the union of closed sets, right? Because if
Okay.
we draw this, so this will give us the union of closed sets. So we have to prove it is closed or not. So you have taken the complement, and that complement will be a union of the complement will be
Open.
intersection of open sets, right?
Its complement is actually union of open intervals, right?
Union of open intervals.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Yeah, that's my doubt, because I was thinking it will be going to be intersection of arbitrary intersection of open intervals. So that's causes that trouble. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank
Madam?
you.
Ah,
Thank you, sir.
okay, thank you. Thank you.
Tomorrow we'll see, sir. Tomorrow's
Okay.
class. Thank you.
Can we upload the lecture note, these notes and the recorded video in the YouTube also?
Sir, we will upload in Monday, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
We will provide all the notes Monday.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, participants. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.